you would be, I mean, you'd be shocked at the absolutely appalling number of people that have come to me begging to help me with my camp because they were fucked over by Tate and Caraway in some way. They've been hopping around camps, like one camp to another, to another, to another. I've always stayed with the same one. And I have so many people that have come up to me being like, please let me help you. They did this, this, and that. Please let me help you do this. Like every single bridge they burned in their wake, like, had come to me begging to help me to try and beat her. I didn't accept anybody's help. I was like, this is very useful information to know that there's this big pieces of shit that like everywhere that they leave, the people are so pissed off that they actually want to help me beat her, but we can do this on our own. And I can guarantee you there's not a single fucking person from my camp that would ever go and do something like that. So it really makes me wonder what kind of people they are.
Has anything changed in your mind that this fight will be any different than the first fight that you'll basically have?
Yeah, I prepare for the worst case scenario always. You know, where she goes on her interviews and goes like, oh, she's gonna die out in the first round, and it's really easy to take her back and choke her, and she has so many weaknesses. She tries to talk me down all the time to herself, and she has to convince herself that she has a chance. I'm constantly talking her up athletically. I'm like, you know what? I believe that she's gonna be in the best shape of her life. I believe she's in the sharpest of her life. I believe that she's gonna have like a perfect game plan. And I spent this whole camp focusing on every single weakness I could possibly have and all the defenses and everything, because I assume that she's going to be perfect. And I'm getting ready for a perfectly trained athlete with a perfect game plan that's going to fight me for a 5-round brawl. That's what I'm prepared for. What she is hoping for and preparing for is just me to go out there and make stupid mistakes and gas out in the first round. Like if the way that you hear about it, this is what she expects from me. And I expect a lot more from her than what she expects from me, and that's why I'm always going to be better prepared.
Ronda, did you injure your hand during training or anything?
Oh no, I just scraped it. I was feeding a falcon.
Why were you feeding a falcon?
No. I just get like cuts from like hitting the glove sometimes, you know, and so I'd rather be safe than sorry, and I don't want to get like an infection.
So you weren't feeding a falcon? So you're not feeding a falcon?
I was not. I really wanted to go with that story though. I was feeding a falcon, but then I sneezed. That was the shitty part. And then they pushed it, and then that's never sneeze in front of a falcon. That's messed up. Yeah, no, I'm just being safe. I don't want like any cuts. I don't want to get sick, so you know, better safe than sorry. Yeah.
It seems like the credibility of female MMA is obviously very important to you from everything you're saying. So do you feel like Miehsa coming off a loss and you feeling like she doesn't have the, you know, in-fight reasons to be fighting you, it upsets the credibility of female MMA?
No, because I really feel like there's a limited amount of really interesting fights that I could have for the title, and I think that given her recent performances, I don't think a fight with her would make sense any other time. I can't count on her building a winning streak after this. And so her having that fight with Kat for the top contention spot, and then Kat getting injured, it's the time where it would make the most sense for her to come in for a title shot, because I really think that her best performance ever was when she was with Team Alpha Male, and she fought Marlo Kunin. She's had the best performance of her life and somehow left that camp. I don't know why. But from what I've seen from her since, I mean, I beat her, then she had a pretty embarrassing performance against Kedzie and pulled it out at the end, and then she pretty much got handled by Kat Zingano. I can't count on her suddenly turning that around.
So you feel like this is your chance to just get rid of her? I feel like it's a fight that the fans want to see, you know, because the rivalry is there, the history is there, and she's a cute chick. And so I want that fight to be able to happen and not to be the opportunity to be wasted, and I can't count on her on really doing that on her own later. And so I'd rather just snatch it up now when there's a better reason for it.